Shabbat Shalom. Una good morning, fellow Ambazonians. Today, na number 13 day, Friday, for this month for January 2023. My name na Capo Daniel. I am the Deputy Defense Chief, the Anti-Kidnapping Czar of the Ambazonian Defense Forces, and the spokesperson of the Ambazonian Governing Council, aka Sense Pass King, una own countryman, Ambazonian FBI. Una welcome to our daily podcast, a program where we bring una the truth, meaningful information, fact-based analysis for help we as we work for this journey to our freedom, the independence of Ambazonia. Good people of Ambazonia, we start today with good news where they come from the great state of Mezam, for the capital of our resistance, for Bamenda, home of the brave. The Ambazonia Defense Forces Bamenda Brigade yesterday launched a brave daytime attack against a checkpoint for La République du Cameroon occupation forces for Insankwen for Bamenda. Video footages, it showed the forces them in action as the video they circulate online. For the video, if you hear the initial attack and the response for the Cameroon terrorist occupation forces, 2 Cameroon occupation forces were confirmed hit on target during the initial attack. The patrol vehicle that is being used by the Cameroon occupation forces in that particular checkpoint were all littered with bullet wounds. We are sure of 2 confirmed neutralized and hit on the spot on the side of the occupation forces, and all of our forces return back to their bases on scale. We will continue to attack La République du Cameroon forces checkpoints to deny them any presence within our community, which they use to harass and exploit our people. While also in Tarinkun, in Bamenda, the occupation forces who are triggered happy opened fire in a busy market area in Tarinkun, wounding 1 Ambazonian senior citizen, a woman. She is in hospital and we are following and monitoring the case. She just joined one of the victims of Cameroon's 5 years brutal occupation and brutal war against our people, a war for subjugation. Over 30,000 Ambazonian innocent civilians have been killed by Cameroon occupation forces who will continue to resist them until the last of them is booted out of Ambazonia. While in other issue, the Ayapop Foundation have reported that the former Supreme Court Judge, Justice Ayapo Abine, have been summoned by the occupation colonial forces in their headquarters in Buea, the capital of Ambazonia, to answer unknown questions with unknown motivation. Justice Ayapo have been a strong critic of the Cameroon occupation. He has provided witness statement of the void of the union between both Cameroon, and his organization have also been one of the crucial NGOs that have highlighted in their humanitarian work the plight of Ambazonian refugees across the border. For his work for humanity, he has been targeted unjustly and kidnapped by La République du Cameroon and kept incommunicado, even in violation of Cameroon constitutional provisions. Justice Ayapo is a humanitarian, a brave citizen that have not been shy to speak up for the oppressed people of Ambazonia and call out the occupation forces for their targeted killing of civilians, burning down of villages, and other war crimes that Paul Biya and his Bulu Beti cliques are guilty of in Ambazonia. We put Justice Ayapo in our prayer as he faces this persecution from the occupation forces of La République du Cameroon. On another side, pictures have emerged of the Ambazonian activist Abdul Karim from the concentration camps in Yaoundé. Abdul Karim was kidnapped in a hotel in Bamenda and taken to Yaoundé, where he's been held in Set, a renowned torture chambers in La République du Cameroon, for no charge and no reason have been provided so far. We put Abdul Karim in our prayers and all Ambazonian prisoners of war and those who have been convicted for their identity and those who have been kidnapped abroad by La République du Cameroon and ferried into their jails, just like the rest 8 million Ambazonians. We are all in captivity, and we must fight and do everything necessary to free ourselves from Cameroon colonialism. Fellow Ambazonians, as we approach the middle of this January, the president of the Ambazonian Governing Council, Dr. Cho Lucas Ayaba, have put forth a statement regarding the Resistance Day of 11 February. It reads as follows. Fellow Ambazonians, every 11 February in Ambazonia is a Resistance Day. This year will not be different as we cement our nationalism, fight the Bulu on every street corner, and we must adopt measures to remind them of their end of tenure in Ambazonia. The theme, Resistance Against the United Nations Fraud of 11 February 1961, and Cameroon's yearly celebration in our land is Leave Our Land. Pens this on every street corner. Let it remind the Bulu butchers parading our street. Let it remind Anago and all the enablers that independence means independence, and that this generation will resist Cameroon's presence onto total freedom. Dr. Cho Lucas Ayaba. So the theme for this year, Resistance Day for 11 February, it be titled Leave Our Land. The leader, it call on all Ambazonians for right and for all corner them for street for Ambazonia. Leave our land as it and talk for remind La République du Cameroon and their enablers say their time for control Ambazonia it don't come to an end, me then come out for our country. Back to the Atlantic state. Fellow Ambazonians, we want to take this opportunity for thank the overall commander of SOCADEF, General Transporter, for intervention and the role we play in the release of Captain Sumo Pikin, when the overall commander of the Ambazonian Defense Forces for the great state of Fako. General Transporter, it don't show patriotism, it don't show the spirit of true collaboration between SOCADEF and the ADF. We want to take this moment for appreciate you for the wonderful work we done the do for Ambazonia. We also call on all the people them for inside the Atlantic state for stand together in patriotic spirit and follow leadership and the right of our people them. For this issue where they can't catch Captain Sumo Pikin, we don't see how the youth and the population for inside Moyoka, they don't wake up for Malende, they don't join or for protest against the use of machinery for Pikin mine Sansan. That Sansan for that place, now Sansan where they provide jobs for majority of the youths then for that area. And if we bring in La République du Cameroon sponsored agents, they can begin mechanize them, now who could benefit. So the mountain lions, they need to ask themselves if they don't accept for compensation for this company for come work for inside our land, and they use them now, they don't go begin protest now for La République, now who the benefit? So the one stand now with the side of the people and the youth, or the one stand now with the side of exploiters, with them different for exploit our country for Cameroon's sake. We also want to thank all the youth for inside Moyoka, all the parents, our mommy, our papa them, where them wake up quick rally when they hear that they can catch their general Captain Sumo Pikin. It don't always be a hero for our land. We remember one of the greatest action way be taken at time way they be killed baby Caroline for Insaboya. The Ambazonian Defense Forces for Fako, they be wake up instantly for block road them for send a message to the enemy that they stand for Ambazonia and they have always hold the Ambazonian flag high. And the population yesterday then show and say indeed the Ambazonian Defense Forces, their conduct already been a one way they appreciate them. Inside the area, all man it work according to Ambazonian liberation instructions. No Cameroon government school in it go on for that area, or they obey Monday Ghost Town, and no La République du Cameroon activity they need pass for day on challenge. Would call on all the other groups as well as the Mountain Lions for continue for do their good job and for remember the old good days in 2020 when everybody was focused to fight one common enemy. The arrest of any Ambazonian soldier is a drawback. The fighting for power and the use of force to coerce people to join them is counterproductive and is unacceptable and is unpatriotic during this time of war. Every Ambazonian group should respect the right of the other to exist and to fight alongside with them and to collaborate rather than fight against each other. Fellow Ambazonians, I dey also bring this very important message, and this one go in particular to the capital of our resistant Bamenda, home of the brave. I dey want to remind all Ambazonians them, say as we don't stay small, keep our hand them full, for lever me the Nekwe, it pass fine for inside our palace for inside Mancon. The time for Nekwe, they can finish for this coming Sunday. This Monday, as it one start, any man wey come out outside say one violate ghost town because you want go find some more money at the expense of freedom for 8 million Ambazonians and their livelihood. No say you dey put yourself for danger. Monday ghost town it be sacrosanct across Ambazonia. Any man wey violate ghost town, it will be held to account. Be sure for that one. From this Monday way they come up, things they will change. And they also want to take time for tell what people them say as Sudan she don't quiet this time because Nekwe pass. Na time where people they need to work from, we also would also adjust as Monday it come. Any man where the worker for inside quarter for inside Bamenda in particular and for all Ambazonian cities and villages them. Say it worker for ask money for light and for water bill, where the company them Ineo and Kamwata they never pay their liberation tax. They never contribute back for Ambazonia for exploiting our resources and our people them. They never do their social responsibility for Ambazonia. Make you know say you do and so at your own risk. All bill collections are banned. The worst one I say we don't sit down, we don't watch how for the past week them for Nekwe. They work up for quarter, then they even claim say they go use La Republique, their colonial police them for chase people them for bill. If they send you for inside Bamenda town in particular, say me you work a collect light bill and water bill, you do work a fine your own. Anything where you go see them, you go take them the way we come. But I guarantee you, you go meet up with for street. This one, it also go for people the way they sell water. Any landlord where you don't enter for that business, they don't put you for that network. When now you can't stand the work and sell public water. Water when our forefathers them, for our land, community money, they don't gather and build dam. They want to be colonial property. They don't take a mortgage for another country. Me can become exploit we our people them for our own property. For take them sell them back for we. The day for slavery it don't pass. Any landlord or quarter head go be held responsible if they sell public water for your quarter. Remove the lock. Any man will hold the key for tap. You will be held responsible. Open the tap, make it be flow. If you deny, we don't talk to me, you no collect money, you lock that tap, we will come for you and you will come pay for the people that are suffering during the period where you be done lock that tap. When I keep the tap them open, selling water for inside Ambazonia for public tap, it be forbidden and it be banned. If you try to violate the law where it be in line with the people, their aspiration for exert their sovereignty, you challenge a whole country by yourself. You yourself, you check sense. So this week, as Monday it come, we're gonna go see we for street. For every corner and every inch for Ambazonia, we're going to enforce our law and we'll call on all Ambazonia across our territory for observe the Monday ghost town. No vehicle, no benzikin, no business. Everybody stay at home. No work for clean up campaign. No be time for Njangina. Time for Shidong for prayer. For pray and for observe a minute for our people them. Where they ran the suffer for the past 60 years under slavery for La Republique. Make all money observe them. All for one, one for all. Any man with strong head, you want jeopardize the life of 8 million people because you feel say you carry horn for your head. You will also meet up people who then carry horn for their head for outside. Great people of the Ambas Bay. Your office, your spokesperson, you don't put out a message today regarding the whole issue concerning the name of our country. In a message, we don't put them outside today, and they remind our people them for abandon the confusion and the mixed signal them who they send them for the international community as a result of our name. Most groups them where they use the name Southern Cameroon, they pollute social media space and they act unpatriotically. If our people them abandon these so-called restorationist groups, it will help we for save a lot in terms of communication and for bring sanity within our social media space. Those people, the way they preach for restoration, this issue it will then be confronted in the conference of the peace practitioner the way it happened for Cambodia. In the front of many international observers, Christopher Ano, where he will be the former press secretary for the IG group, he will be confronted with this particular question where they be asked, he say, what will be the meaning of this your restoration where they always talk so. Chris Ano be talk say restoration, it means say one make Southern Cameroon go back for what way be before. They be asking for inside that organize for that meeting, say which time for our history where we want me Ambazonia go back for B as it be before. He say if we want make then go back for B for the time we will be separate from Nigeria and will be on our own. It will be reminded, say during that period we'll be still be now under British, will be still be a colony, even though we get self-governance. So there is no time in our history where any man, if he point out for talk, say you want for restore them, because there is no time in our history where we don't get an effectuated independence or hold the sovereignty act of our state as an independent country. Restorationists are accommodating federalist West Cameroon and unionist Ambazonians in their ideology. And the groups that are perpetrating the whole this name of Southern Cameroons are noted for polluting social media space in Ambazonia. You cannot be calling yourself a Southern Cameroonians and claiming to be fighting for Ambazonia. If you call yourself Southern Cameroons, why don't you also use Southern Cameroon flag? If you are using Ambazonian flag and calling yourself Southern Cameroonian, you are a Confucianist and you are sending mixed signal. We don't want any Camerooners amongst us. We want an indigenous people, and we call on our people then for take note for the people the way they always use the name Southern Cameroon. Now people the way that they always bring on patriotic opposition for inside our struggle. If you insist for call the territories now say Southern Cameroon, then also begin use the Southern Cameroon flag. Why do you call them say Southern Cameroon and then you do use now Ambazonian flag? Remember, say the people for Rhodesia, when they be the fight for their independence, they be the fight now for Zimbabwe, they be the call their country now say Zimbabwe. Make we stop the confusion and make sure say those people the way they bring corny federalism where they don't infiltrate our struggle, they not go be accommodated and they not go get room for begin propagate their anti-nationalist agenda for inside our liberation struggle. We are the people of the Ambas Bay. We reject any colonial time name for our territory. We call the modern name of our territory a name that have been embraced by all of our people, anthem that have been sung by all of our people. We must embrace nationalism if we are fighting for a national agenda. Capo Daniel, signing off.